She got a tattoo. She's hot and she's cool. Mama say she bad. My friends say she good. Things she does to me, or you don't wanna know. Take me places I never thought I'd ever go. There she goes, teasing me. There she goes. It's amazing. There she goes, teasing me. There she goes. There she goes. Ooh, carry on, don't stop. Hit my Leandro. Carry on, don't stop. Hit my Leandro. Ewe, dimani, ewe, dimani, dimani, baby girl, tell me when you come. I'll be waiting.
Wow, the fabulous sounds of a new group called Smile with their song Ewe. Good evening and welcome South Africa. This is Trendz with me, Refiwe Mwilwa, on the SABC News channel. The year is without a doubt coming to a close as we sprint towards 2016, and this is of course officially this festive season, and what better than showbiz news and events to usher you through to the new year. In your headlines. Ethiopia's first African Circus Art Festival hosts 85 artists from different parts of the continent. The Amandla Cultural Ensemble, a struggle musical under the directorship of Dr. Jonas Gwangwa, is on at the State Theatre. Show jumping, luxury cars, haute couture and fabulous food will be the order of the day at this year's La Cap Lifestyle Festival Fair. Now, in the words of our beloved Tata Mandela, HIV/AIDS is the greatest danger we have faced for many, many centuries. HIV/AIDS is worse than a war. It is like a world war. Millions are dying from it. World AIDS Day was celebrated this week, and tomorrow, the 5th of December, on the Memorial Day of the passing of Nelson Mandela, the Festive District Municipality will host an HIV/AIDS concert with a stellar lineup of the best musicians. One of those I am honored to have with me in studio today, a legend in his own right with a career spanning over 50 years. He is today one swaggy granddad who epitomized the school of cool and township jive in the 80s. Welcome, Rahat Sticks. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We are so glad you are here in studio. And I mean, let's talk about this concert. Tomorrow, 5th of December, you know, it is World AIDS Day past this week on the 1st of December. And it's a serious, you know, epidemic that the whole world is facing.
Yes, and excuse me, it's a very, very important gig. It's a gig where many of us as professional musicians probably are affected, and some of our many members have actually died from the epidemic. So I think it's befitting of us as colleagues to remember those that have gone through. And I think it's also just as important for us to remember that we had an icon who was always ready to speak out against, you know, world malices.
And to serve.
To serve,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
And without fear or favor of talking about it and ensuring that he leads so that many of us who are also involved in this are able to say things openly without feeling the stigma.
Sure.
You know?
And I mean, it's 2015.
It's 2015.
It is kind of, you know, difficult to fathom that. It is still very much, there's stigma behind it. People are still scared to come out. You know, it's a very real issue that everybody, you know, we're all affected in some way.
Yes.
And, you know, musicians, you know, are very much a part of discourse and society and play a key part as well in spreading messages like this.
Yes.
So it's 12 years now that this festival has been going, and have you been a part of it before? And
Yes, I've been quite a number of times.
And this year, I mean, you're sharing the stage with many, many talented musicians,
great
the likes of
musicians,
Zonke,
you know.
even, you know, the Idols winner Garabo will also be there.
Yes,
and just what
Nati,
kind, yes,
Namvula.
Nati, yes.
You know, I think people will come out in numbers. All I can emphasize is that while we, you know, this may be entertainment, it's very important that the patrons understand the purpose, and they come there with an open-minded, and saying, what can we do?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's all well and good for them to come in and pay money and celebrate. And when they leave to go home,
Sure.
what have we done for the day? What have we done for those who are affected or infected with the epidemic?
People should always reflect and take stock of exactly why they were part of the event. And now, just to close off with you, Rahat Sticks, I am very much looking forward to hearing a little bit of a rendition of something from you. But so many years later, over half a decade, that's incredible. Just last year, you were celebrating 30 years since Burnout came out. An incredible, incredible track. And just how do you then keep from not burning out?
I think I've tried to be as honest and, you know, truthful to what I do. And one other thing is I don't believe in hypes, because when you begin to believe in hype, then you lose sight of the purpose of being a professional musician. There have been very difficult times, I must say. And what is critical is whether I can deal with the, you know, the rough times. And I think many of the younger musicians should understand that it's not always going to be rosy. What is the objective of them becoming professional musicians? That is for me critical.
Excellent last words. You know, a very, very key and, you know, very important message to many musicians today.
Yes.
Now, please, you know, could you do a little bit of something for us just to close us and send us off into the ad break?
I had a problem last night. My reed broke. Said, I hope. To
hope
all
it
my
works.
colleagues who are, you know, they are always watching and saying, he's playing bum notes. So I want to say to them, if there was anything that they feel is bummy about my playing, guys,
your disclaimer is
I'm
heard.
not representing that.
Please,
So should
please.
I play standing or should I
Please,
prepare?
however you're
Because
comfortable.
you can't play when you...
Thank you. Awesome, fantastic. Thank you so very much for that real and very emotive little piece. Stay tuned, there's lots more to come still on Trendz. Stay watching. Welcome back. There are a few things that are definitely associated with opulence and decadence. Imagine a weekend of show jumping, luxury cars, haute couture and tantalizing food. All this and more is exactly what this weekend's Le Cap Lifestyle Fair is all about. Trendz caught up with one of the event's title sponsors before the big shindig in Cape Town.
The glitzy and glamorous Le Cap Lifestyle Fair takes place in Cape Town this weekend, and anyone who is anyone will be there. The event was born out of a love and appreciation of the finer things in life, and what will be showcased there is good food, fine wine, fabulous fashion and fast cars. And I'm right here at Lamborghini Johannesburg to speak about just that. This annual lifestyle event showcases elements that are traditionally associated with a discerning lifestyle for individuals who have an appetite for luxury.
The Cup is a lifestyle fair, you know, fast cars, good food, great fashion. My name is Rahat Sticks. I'm a couture designer based in Cape Town, South Africa. I was asked by Le Cup to do a collection especially for them this coming Saturday.
Fashion is an integral part of the numerous opulent lifestyle activities. Guests will be treated to an exclusive and innovative ramp show by some of South Africa's most famed fashion designers such as Jacques Lagrange, Tula Cindy and Craig Port, as well as Caducci and the iconic Italian fashion brand Luisa Spagnoli.
It's a more sexier, racier collection, obviously to fit with the Lamborghini, so that's why I'm doing a new collection. Well, everybody would obviously expect something new. Yeah. It's, like I said, very racy, very sexy, but it's still Jacques Lagrange. The elements are very feminine, sophisticated and sexy as there. The Russian collection was designed in South Africa and launched in Russia, Moscow, in September. It's haute couture, everything's done by hand. The skirt took like 2.5 months to create. Like I said, everything is by hand and with glass pulls, so it's quite heavy.
Unique to the lifestyle fair is that guests are able to purchase the designers' runway collections on the day of the event. The Le Cup Lifestyle Fair is also a unique stage for luxury automobile manufacturers to showcase their range of motor vehicles. The associate title sponsor for this event, starting 2015, is iconic Italian supercar manufacturer Lamborghini.
We're an associate sponsor with Le Cup, so that's our association with them. We've also been involved with them on many other occasions. We find that their kind of clientele is very similar to our clientele. Lamborghini people are very discerning, and Le Cup tends to bring in that kind of customer.
Attendees will be able to view the latest range of Lamborghinis at Le Cup's big reveal.
It'll be the new Hurricane Spider, which has only just been launched overseas. The car actually flew in yesterday to Cape Town. It was last in Dubai, so it's done Geneva and then Dubai and straight out to South Africa. So yes, that'll be the new car that we're showing everybody.
Now, the glitzy and glamorous Le Cup Lifestyle Festival Fair was born out of the appreciation of the finer things in life, as you've just seen in the insert. This annual lifestyle fair is synonymous with luxury, style, celebrity and a jubilee of multimedia recognition. And now joining us from Cape Town is the CEO and founder, Stefan Swan Lake. Welcome to Trendz, Stefan.
Hello, good morning to you.
A pleasure having you here. And I mean, we've just seen those fantastic cars. It's been how many years now that the festival has been running?
This is the third year. The first year we also hosted in the Western Cape as we did the second year, so effectively the third year.
Wow. And I mean, people do come out. It's an entire weekend. Please just tell us about some of the things that, you know, people might not have even known happen at the fair.
Look, it is a glamorous event, as you put out, certainly. I think one of the strongest elements of the event, obviously, is Lamborghini this year, and we're incredibly proud to have them as an associate sponsor to the event. And in particular that they also chose this occasion to reveal a new model in South Africa.
Yes.
So that is a very much the highlight of the event, I would have thought.
Sure. And, you know, the show jumping and the horses and the fashion, my gosh, that, you know, the dress that lady was in was fantastic. So tell us about some of the designers who designed...
Yeah, the fashion also this year we've expanded very much on previous years with Jacques Lagrange, which is the lady you're referring to in that garment. And then we have Craig Port with his swimming wear collection. And Tula Cindy, also based in Johannesburg.
Yes.
And of course we have Luisa Spagnoli, the Italian fashion brand. So certainly, yeah, a very nice mixture of fashions. And yeah, we are looking forward to that, as the viewers should.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, how has it grown? It's the third year now, as you say, and just how far have you taken its growth in the 3 years?
I think we've grown exponentially. You know, in the first year to the second year, there was sort of a linear growth, but now the third year, it's an exponential growth. I think a lot of media interest and certainly a lot of public interest. And as you can say, as you said earlier, with the inclusion of somebody like Lamborghini, that's exponential. You know,
yes.
It's an international involvement, so certainly be flattered. You know, we're trying to expand. What we're really doing is encapsulating all the elements, the luxury elements in a lifestyle event, which is not always easy to do, to package that together on a certain day, because all the role players are significantly busy people. So, yeah, it takes an incredible amount of management.
Sure. And what are you most looking forward to, Stefan?
That's a difficult question to answer. I think, probably everything.
Yeah.
Fashion is very important to me. The horses is certainly very interesting, although it's not a large component of the event.
Sure.
And certainly the Lamborghini launch. I mean, that to me
I
was
wish I
one of
could
the
be
highlights,
there, and I
certainly.
wish someone would just, give me a short little test drive in it. I mean, that spider looks incredible and incredibly fast, of course. And so, what's the weather looking like, by the way, in Cape Town? Does everything
Weather
look
looks
like?
good.
Does it look good?
The weather looks very good. We're monitoring it all the time, and it's
Yeah.
looking very good at this point. I think my last check was sort of 33 degrees tomorrow, so we're looking towards a very sunny, warm day. Fantastic.
Great stuff. I mean, that's the Le Cup Lifestyle Fair happening in Cape Town this weekend. The weather seems great. Thank you so very much, Stefan. And check out social media and even their website. Just Google Le Cup Lifestyle Fair and you will be able to see everything about this fantastic and glamorous event. Now, dance fans were treated to spectacular performances at Gold Reef City's Lyric Theatre in celebration of Gregory Maqoma's 25 years in the dance industry. A man whose fluid silhouette on stage mesmerizes audiences from start to finish. The highly acclaimed choreographer was joined on stage by other performers during the two-day event, which ends today.
The Lyric Theatre came alive with an explosion of dance, music and entertainment to toast the 25 remarkable years of a professional dancer. The artistry, power and passion of Maqoma's performance of works has definitely impacted well with his contemporaries, judging by the unwavering support from other performers.
It's been really great for me because, what a pleasure to be on stage all the time, and for doing it for 25 years, it's an absolute blessing. And every time I'm on stage, for me, it feels like I'm living again. So half a century, it feels like I'm starting again from scratch.
Growing up in the streets of Soweto, Maqoma, now executive director of Vuyani Dance Theatre, didn't anticipate this kind of reward when he started off as a dancer. He has traveled a long road, strewn with achievement and accolades since 1990.
It feels good to be part of something that speaks to excellence. It feels good to be a part of something that celebrates the achievements of a young South African. It feels really good.
In honor of this milestone, Maqoma will be joined by the members of the Vuyani Dance Company, as well as Bongile Kumar, fashion designer David Tlale, and the flamboyant Somizi Mhlongo, in a show brimming with surprises and unexpected delights.
They're a new group on the scene and they simply call themselves Smile, ready in time for December to make everybody smile and get up on their feet. They opened the show earlier with their song Ewe, and I'm standing here with the members of Smile and the lovely Mauritian. Welcome to Trendz.
Hi.
So guys, tell us about Smile, your names, introduce yourselves, and just what are you about, what kind of music do you do?
All right. We are Smile. My name is Zuka, Mr. Diamond Kada.
I'm just simply Mash.
Right.
Yeah,
and so guys, Smile, what's with the name and the kind of music that you do? A lot of pop influences, there's a lot of dance in there. Just take us through, what is it that you're putting out to the audience?
Okay. Well, quickly, just looking at all the negative stuff happening around us, the gruesome crimes, the hunger, poverty and stuff, I'm sure you'd agree the world can do with a little bit of lightness and positive vibes.
Definitely.
And we figured, hey, what if we can use our God-given talents to contribute to this movement of positivity and and light.
Fantastic.
So we're making music that.
And do you guys produce your own music as well?
Yes, use producers, songwriters, performing artists.
All right.
I'm trying to be businessman these days.
No, of course, that's very important as well, understanding the business of music.
Yeah,
and
it's important.
Mauritian, lovely that you are, with the guys here and you can, take them through a bit of the paces that you've gone through in the industry since you started. They actually tricked you.
They tricked me. I thought this was like for an advert.
Fantastic
to see you. Your voice is always lovely.
Thank you so
Just tell us about this track that you guys are about to do.
Well, I'm featured on a track. It's called Last Summer, and it's really just about, people hooking up in summertime. And it was amazing. And then they, kind of leave it there. And they, what do you call it?
call each other to remind each other what
Yeah,
we
they're
did last
reminded
summer.
of this, of this thing that happened, and probably hoping that it will happen again.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
But fantastic team of guys. Do they have their heads screwed on right? Are they in this music thing
Yeah,
for the
they
right
definitely
reasons?
are. I mean, they were cool. It really, they wanted me to come and do backings. That's how it really initially started.
Yes.
And then the minute they heard me sing, they were like, please feature on this track.
Blown
and I heard
away.
it. And I'm like, well, it's awesome. And I like, the vibe that they bring to it. It's a light song,
Yes.
it's summery.
Yeah.
It's a great vibe.
It's a happy song
It's
for
a happy
December.
song. And that's
Yeah.
really just what it is. It was great synergy between the three of us.
Sure.
So I was like, why not? I mean, music is there to connect us. So let it connect us.
Great stuff. And just quickly before you sing, anything from you coming up in 2016?
Yes, my single is coming up. It's featuring DJ Ganyani. It's called Stars. So look out for that one.
Awesome.
going
Fantastic,
down.
guys. Take it
Hot
away. And yeah, this is Smile, and you guys are
Yeah.
performing Last Summer.
Last summer, yeah.
Take it away,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
All the
Thank you
best.
so much. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
We go by the name of Smile.
Yeah.
And right about now, we're introducing Lady Maruchan for you.
Let's go.
Take it
let's
away,
go. Let's
mommy.
go. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
What you did last summer, have you ever made love to a stranger?
Let's go.
Sweet summer rain,
Sweet summer rain. Hey.
rain on me once again.
Once again. Yeah. I remember. Hey, I kept counting them shots. I didn't wanna blame on the alcohol, but goddamn, you were hot. Hey, yeah, hot as Madonna. Call it good boy. Hey, one guy ain't number. Hey, let it go for her. Hey, I'll take you one fella. Hey, and you said.
She said she did.
Hey.
They said I love it.
Me say I love
I
it.
said I'm bad. And now we're getting
Do you remember what we did last summer? Do you remember? I bet you do. Do you remember what we did last summer? Bad boy. Do you remember what we did last summer? Do you remember? I bet you do. Do you remember what we did last summer? Bad boy.
last year, summertime. Best is in Cape Town, it was going down. Best Petrodaki, Nabo Yellow, Trinangi Vianal, Cherry or you pray no.
Welcome back. 35 years after it was first performed and toured the UK, Brazil, Russia and Japan amongst others, but never at home in South Africa, Amandla, the cultural ensemble, is now on at the Pretoria State Theatre. Esteemed Oscar, BAFTA and Grammy-nominated trombonist Jonas Gwangwa is taking the director role with a cast of 50, reliving the role that artists in the struggle against apartheid played. The Trendz team visited them during rehearsals earlier this week.
The theatrical protest musical Amandla came in being in 1980 after the jazz artist and music composer Dr. Jonas Gwangwa did the score for the multi-award winning film Cry Freedom. The ensemble had many obstacles along the way, but prevailed in the plight to inform the world about the struggle of the post-colonial South Africa.
The cultural ensemble I was sent for from the directives that came from Tambo. They sent somebody, the commander of MK in Angola, the chief commander, was sent to Botswana to get me, to come and help the group that had gone to Cuba. So when I got to Angola, finally, I realized this talent that was there, and the idea sprang. I said, nah, one could do a musical here.
From 1980 to 1990, Amandla traveled the world performing in over 40 countries, lobbying support for liberation movements in exile. The ensemble created international solidarity movements and expressed the injustices of the apartheid system to the global community.
Remember, first, we were politicians. We needed to, through art, we needed to convince and communicate the struggle of the people of South Africa. That's what we did. You know, sometimes we'll get resistance. For instance, in Belgium, I remember, just before we had a performance, there were these right-wingers, you know, they challenged us physically. So when we said, okay, we're going to go for, it was me and the Mosquito. We went for our shield and sticks. I said, okay, it will be another Sandrone somewhere here in Belgium. But Comrade Lindy Maboza said, no. Go on stage and educate them. But what happened after that? By the time we finished the show, they were supporting us. They were so sorry that they didn't know the message. They didn't know what we were talking about. Because the propaganda was that we were just terrorists. But after that show, a lot of them converted to the supporters of the African National Congress.
The Amandla Cultural Ensemble dismantled in Zimbabwe in 1990 when apartheid came to an end. Now, 25 years later, the ensemble is in South Africa for the first time and promises a cutting-edge theatrical production, one that will inspire the youngsters of South Africa. The cast members went through a historical nostalgia to tap into the characters and emotions of the original cast.
We had to learn to portray the situation in South Africa, and that is what we are doing now with this production. I keep on reminding them, remember the feel at the time. Sometimes we have to act it to them. So this was a feeling. You stop them, explain exactly what was happening at that time.
The ensemble is looking to tour South Africa in the coming year. Look out for it, as it will be hitting a theatre near you soon. The first leg of the production is currently running this weekend at the State Theatre in Pretoria.
Wow, so for an incredible and powerful story that is as relevant in past years as today, please make sure to go to the State Theatre this weekend to go and see Amandla. Moving on to our next story, as the year draws to a close, people are of course already working on the New Year's resolutions we all love to hate. Scoop's bookstore in Monte Casino in Johannesburg held an inspiring launch of a self-development book titled Procrastination by first-time author Thabisile Ledwaba.
We had the saying, never judge a book by its cover, but it turns out that Procrastination is one book in which exception is permissible. It features many aspects of self-development topics, such as career and relationships, among other things. With the spotlight still on women during the 16 days of activism, speakers gave ladies a moving emancipation.
Ladies, for far too long, you have allowed us men to get away with murder to a point that we believe that murder is normal. We believe it's okay to murder you. We believe it's okay to abuse you. And I'm talking to men who are standing here today. If you are that man and you're abusing your better half, you gotta look at yourself honestly and ask yourself, why am I in this relationship? Why did I bring this person in my life? Did I bring them in my life to abuse them? But let me tell you what happens. I don't have a problem with abuse. I've got a problem with what's causing the abuse. Because most of us, we come from dysfunctional families. Our background is so bad that we don't even know what's good and bad.
The self-professed procrastinator author took a clearly entertained crowd through her book, which offers some practical principles one can apply to achieve his or her aspirations.
The first day of the year, everyone sets their goals and targets to be realized within that year, but because of procrastination, all the resolutions get thrown out of the window as early as the third day of the month. I love gym, so I go to gym throughout the year, whether it's cold or not. So I remember in Jan, I cannot even get hiking because of procrastinators. Because of the new year resolutions, they suddenly decided to go to gym, but only to go for 2 months. Whereas myself, I'm very good, like I'm so disciplined, I want to go to gym consistently, and then suddenly I cannot get a spot in my class, and also at the hiking, of which is so unfair because of procrastinators.
The evening was wrapped by the author signing her book. Attendees left beaming with motivation.
I've learned today that you have to jump into it immediately and act. That's where you can proceed with your life.
I realized that I spend a lot more time procrastinating than I would like to admit. And yeah, I think maybe it's time to start doing things instead of thinking about them.
And now the street lights are out, Christmas trees in every store are up, and that magical festive feeling is definitely in the air, and that's where the Bala brothers come in. The trio performed at the Carols by Candlelight this past weekend, marking the official beginning of the festive season, a time to rejoice and be grateful, and for all Christians to reflect on the birth of the Son of God.
The Walter Sisulu National Botanical Gardens in the west of Johannesburg was transformed into a spectacle as hundreds of people, equipped with an early Christmas spirit, came out to watch the Bala brothers perform last Saturday. Gates opened at 3 p.m. with families streaming in with picnic blankets and camp chairs set up as the concert commenced once the sun set over the idyllic gardens. There was a brass band that served as an opening act, entertaining the masses with unique sounds and some dance antics, followed by the vocal stylings of choir performances, but it was the Bala brothers that stole the show. The talented trio, lifted out of poverty through their sheer musical talent, hail from Uitenhage, Eastern Cape, and have released their third album. The self-titled offering includes the group's take on Circle of Life from Elton John, Under African Skies from Paul Simon, and Pata Pata from Gregory Maqoma. Hi Trendz, I am backstage at the Old Mutual Music in the park with the Bala brothers who are performing their last song, and we are waiting to interview them. So while we wait, we'll do a bit of a dance with Pata Pata. Recently on a US tour where they performed in a number of shows across the country, including a performance on PBS national broadcaster, viewed by 60 million new fans, the Bala brothers are now back on home soil.
I think this time of year in particular is just it's about family time, and I think it's just great that at least we represent not only singers but a family as well, getting together and sing what other families sing as well. Now just all together in song.
And what is the personal motivation for you?
The motivation to kind of do this, I guess, it's really just love for people, and like I was saying, it's just love for family and for what families stand for. So I think as long as we obviously can be an example of that, it's always a beautiful thing. And also the wonderful thing about today's performance is that there are children who are 5 years old up until all the way up to children who are 55 years old. But it's just wonderful the fact that everybody can really just be children over Christmas.
Yes, I did lie, but I have one more question. Every time they mentioned your name, every time they looked at you, the crowd went wild. What does that make you feel like?
Great to know that I'm very special. But I always love it. I'm always enjoying myself on stage, and I love it when people are happy to see me as well, us in fact as a group.
It's been a very nice evening. The Bala brothers were awesome. It was a very nice family evening. We really enjoyed the songs, and we started paying Trendz for the tickets. We had an amazing time here. It was very nice.
Stay tuned because Trendz continues after the break with some fantastic ice skating as Swan Lake returns. Welcome back to the last stretch of Trendz. The world's premier theatrical ice skating company, the Imperial Ice Stars, returns to South Africa with a dynamic new interpretation of its award-winning classic masterpiece, Swan Lake on Ice, performed in the intimate setting of a frozen theatre stage to Tchaikovsky's famous and well-loved score. This production of Swan Lake on Ice introduces a new prologue to the classic tale, humanizing the legend of a princess turned into a swan by an evil sorcerer. This December, the acclaimed production organization, which is on a world tour, is celebrating the company's 10th anniversary.
My name's Tony Mercer. I'm the artistic director of the Imperial Ice Stars and also the choreographer of the production Swan Lake on Ice. Now, we're based over in Moscow. It's a company I created way back in 2003. And we've been touring around the world. We've been very fortunate. We've been very successful. Thank you very much to the audience that have come to see us. 27 different countries. Almost 5 million people have bought tickets to watch our show. And we just had an incredible journey. You know, this is our 5th visit, I believe, into Johannesburg. You know, Monte Casino, I think we came here the very first time around about 2007. And Johannesburg is our biggest selling city in the world. And it's incredible, we love it. You know, you seem to love us, and we seem to love you. You know, very first time we came here, we only came for 3 weeks. And we're now doing 6 weeks. And delighted by it. I don't know why it's happened that way. We have a great partner, Peter Turin, who has been incredible in promoting us. But South Africa has become our biggest country.
I've been in sport for a very long time, so I've been all my life a figure skater, but then had to stop my sport career and came to the theatre on ice. And I've met our director, Tony Mercer, who's involved inside the different show and different productions. But when I've met him and when he created his own production of Imperial Ice Stars, that's you know, that's where I joined 10 years ago, I guess. I joined the company, and since that time was on tour, traveling with the different productions. My role is the most beautiful role. It's the role of Azet, the White Swan, inside Swan Lake on Ice.
It's Christmas, it's festive season, and it seems to, when Peter said to me the very first time, let's go and do one of your shows in summer in Johannesburg or in Cape Town, and are you sure about this, Peter? And Tony, it'll be perfect. And he was right. Thankfully, he was right. But there seems to be a magic about it. You know, you've kind of got used to us coming here in December and January, and you always flock out to see us. So therefore, for me, you know, I always try and make sure that I'm bringing you something new or something exciting, so you don't say, oh, we've seen that before, which is really important to me.
My role is Prince Siegfried in Swan Lake on Ice. It's very beautiful and strong role, you know. I very like it. So I do in show so many elements, so many adagios. I like it. I hope audience will like our show, what I do.
Well, again, 2006 we came here with Swan Lake previously. What happens is I was very fortunate, you know, privileged that it became an award-winning production. It's the only time an ice production has ever won a theatrical award. And Peter suggested, after we were here with Sleeping Beauty a couple of years ago, and thank you, we sold lots and lots of tickets, Peter said, right, Tony, I want you to do Swan Lake. Okay, but what can we do? We've been here with Swan Lake before. And I said, Peter, if you'll allow me to, because every time in a production you have to spend money to do something new. And I said, look, if you don't mind, I've got some really nice new ideas choreographically, but I've been working hard with the performers to bring to life new choreography, which is presentation inside the pieces. We've not changed the storyline. There's tweaks, but nothing major. It's just in presentation, so the audience will enjoy it more.
With Tchaikovsky's glorious music, exhilarating new choreography and dazzling costumes, Imperial Ice Stars' rendition of Swan Lake on Ice is sure to take your breath away. Taking place from the 5th of December to the 10th of January, it is a must-see for all audiences, so do go out and see it.
And we're almost at the end of the show, closing off with another new gentleman who's on the scene. He goes by the name Masalat. Guys, welcome to Trendz. And I mean, it's a mixed bag today that we have on the Trendz stage. Just tell us about your music and what is it that you're doing this December?
Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to come here. Masalat in Opera, it's a group of 2 guys from KZN. We met in Peter Marisbeck. We're doing Guaido. At the moment, we are pushing our 2 tracks, Touch and Ishtate, and our own stable, Putume Cabbage production.
All right.
Yes,
All right,
so
if you can just lift your microphone a little bit up.
Yeah.
All right, and then you, sir, just tell us here, what is it and where will you be performing this December? Because, you know, that Durban sound, everybody wants a little bit of it.
This December on the 16th, we're out at Katlehong. On Sunday, we're out in Mpumalanga. And the rest, you can follow us on Twitter, Masalat_pra, at Mr. Jasnje, at my Jasnje.
Hola, guys. Take it away. The song that you're about to do is called?
Touch.
Hola, Touch. Take it away, guys. Thank you so very much for watching and join me again next week. Cheers.
One, two, three, washuba. 1, 2, 3, washuba. 1, 2, 3.
Uma salad no bra.
Oh, 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 touch.
Out touch. Yeah, what?
Oh, 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 touch.
Out touch. Yeah, what?
Oh, 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 touch.
Out touch. Yeah, what?
Oh, 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 touch.
Yeah. Hey. What's it what feel? Got a bundu mix. Imnandi kakhulu ngoma idinga remix. Cela ngasijahi vele sazoba rich. Angahluki ba stage. Sekudlala umasaladi. What's it what feel? Got a bundu mix. Imnandi kakhulu ngoma idinga remix. Cela ngasijahi vele sazoba rich. Angahluki ba stage. Sekudlala King Bra. Oh, oh.